chat, I was about to end the stream to get some lunch. However, patch notes just hit. We are going to take a look at these. So, Fire Attunement just posted the June 8th, 2021 release notes. Profession skills. In this update, we're focusing on remaining skill tuning and bug fixes as a follow-up to the May 11th balance update. We wanted to give special attention to small quality of life issues experienced by several professions. To that end, we are making changes such as increasing the maximum duration of the swiftness boon to 60 seconds and allowing applications of super speed to stack duration. Oh my god. Okay, hold on a sec. Let's just time out already. Really quickly. They made it so swiftness capped at 30 seconds. It was really dumb because Necromancer Spectral Walk gave you 48 seconds of swiftness, and then you click the button and you got 30 seconds of swiftness. It was so dumb. So, for those of you who don't play the Engineer, right here, boop, there's super speed. 2, 1, 0, gone, okay? But it's not a boon, so you can't stack it. So, for example, I could use Bandage Self, and that gives me 11 seconds of super speed. But when this wears off, watch it. 8, 7, 6, 2, 3, 2, 1. The 4 seconds of super speed from Bulwark overwrites the 11 seconds of super speed from Bandage Self. So you always had to stagger it. If you were super speeding your group to get through an event, you had to stagger the skills. You couldn't use them all at once. So they've made it a bit easier, which is awesome. So that means higher uptime of super speed anytime that you're grouping with a scrapper. Now, it was already, for example, in some fractals, stealth gyro plus super speed, I could make my whole group invisible and we could just blitz through all the trash all the way to the first boss. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful. I was like, yay, Firebird can't do this. Tears streaming down my face as I run at high speeds. But yeah, that is quality of life. That's great. I'm almost afraid to read the rest of this because it's all downhill after this. Quality of life fixes to individual professions include proper source tracking for the Firebrand's Ashes of the Just skill, and a fix to the movement behavior of the Thief's Death Blossom Dagger skill so that it no longer sends you far past the intended target if you're under the effect of swiftness or super speed. I don't play a Thief. That's hilarious. I didn't realize super speeding my allied thieves made them rocket past the thing they were trying to attack. That's actually really funny. With regard to World v. World, we're making targeted changes to 2 pain points. The overperforming engineer trait. No! Purity of Purpose! And the druid skill Glyph of Unity. We've long seen Purity of Purpose be the dominating support trait for large group play in World v. World. Okay, fine! Nerf it in World v. World! Don't touch it in PvE! With its ability to quickly and continually stack all boons in an area. In this update, Purity of Purpose has an internal cooldown of 2 seconds per affected target. In what game mode? This means it can be triggered on the same target again every other second, such as on alternating pulses of Cleansing Field, but not in shorter intervals. Glyph of Unity has recently been used in large-scale battles to cause spikes of damage totaling in the hundreds of thousands in a matter of seconds. Okay, hold on a second. That's really funny. Let me swap to my druid. I can show exactly what that is. I can show you Glyph of Unity. Say in Loki.9843, this is Muckluck not a giveaway right now. Okay, hang on. So, Glyph of Unity. I'm gonna swap to my druid build here. So Glyph of Unity, when you use it, you connect yourself to nearby foes, and when you take damage, they take damage. Now here's the kicker. If you use Glyph of Unity, and you use Signet of Stone, let's say you get hit for 50 damage, Signet of Stone blocks it, but the guy you're attached to still takes 50 damage. You follow? So World v. World. Run into a pile of people, I presume, Unity to tether yourself to some people, and then Signet of Stone and run into as much damage as you can find, would in theory take all the damage you should be taking and give it to those people. I didn't know this was happening in World v. World, but I immediately understand what's happening. Because this was the cheese that people used to kill Deimos with a whole bunch of druids. They stacked a bunch of hands with the Handkiter, walked into them, tethered to Deimos and Signet of Stone, and Deimos went from 100 to 0, lagged, 2 people went link dead, skipped the final phase and died. because he hit himself like 500,000 times in a second. So, yeah, that's hilarious. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, so what are they doing to Unity? 100,000 matter of seconds, especially in conjunction with Signet of Stone, to provide invulnerability while doing so. This ability to cause dozens of attacks per second, limited only by how many hits are striking the druid, to up to 5 targets, has no effective counter in large group combat, except to keep distance from a druid in the first place. We didn't think this was great. In this update, Glyph of Unity now has an internal cooldown of 0.25 seconds per activation, so it can deliver a maximum of 4 attacks per second to linked enemies. So I don't really mind. I don't play with Glyph of Unity much, but this is one of those skills that it can go, like a little tweak can change it from game breaking to worthless. I wonder if they just made it worthless. Like, it's very possible that that they just made it to where it's useless in every single game mode. We'll see. So, general, super speed. Multiple applications of this effect will now stack duration up to 10 seconds. That doesn't sound like a lot, but a lot of the applications of super speed that an engineer puts out is like 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 4. That's actually pretty good. And remember, it used to be each time you'd get it, it would overwrite the old one no matter how much duration was left. So this is pretty freaking sweet. Swiftness max duration increased from 30 to 60 seconds. Fantastic. That's great. I actually think many of the skills, their max duration caps were made too small, but this is a start. Mastery skills. Channeled Agony. The skill no longer applies the damaging spectral agony condition. Strike damage doubled. Torment stacks applied on hit increase from 3 to 5. Channeled Agony. Hold on a sec. What was... Let me see. 22... Agony. Was that the downstate one? Yes, that is downstate 5. Okay, yeah, so that's the downstate 5 you get from Heart of Thorns, I believe, and allows you to emit a large boom that does a bunch of conditions to everything around you. Yep, okay. So let's see. Torment stacks applied on hit increased, and no longer applies Spectral Agony, strike damage doubled. Okay. Alright. I mean, that skill's only useful in PvE, so the fact that they just buffed a PvE downstate skill is kind of like, well, you know, a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one, I guess. Elementalist, Signet of Fire. The number of applied burning stacks on activation has been reduced from 4 to 2, and the duration of applied burning has been increased from 6 to 10 seconds in all game modes. The number of applied burning stacks on activation from 4 to 2, the duration of applied burning is increased from 6 to 10. Okay. Interesting. Duration increased, but stacks reduced. So I would assume that might make it less bursty. Still the same still similar damage over the duration, but less bursty, I would think. So if it's in PvP, that gives you more time to cleanse it. Engineer. Alchemy. Purity of Purpose. This trait now has an internal cooldown of 2 seconds per target. Since I'm on the Engineer anyway, let me show people that don't know Engineer what this does. So, Purity of Purpose is a very popular trait. What it does is, essentially, when I cleanse you of a condition, you get a boon that is the game considers the opposite of that condition. If I cleanse you and you were feared, you get stability, and you lose the fear and get stability. If I cleanse you of chill, you get alacrity. If I cleanse you of bleeding, you get vigor. You can see there's a whole chart there, but the short of it is, I cure you of a condition, and you get a boon as well. And the thing is if you combine that with a skill like this right here, this cures everyone in front of me 5 times. I think up to 5 targets. So in the worst case environment, that's 25 cleanses, that little green spray. You know, this right here is 1 per person. This right here is 3 per person. So, you know, if you're in some fights or PvP, you're all these conditions you're cleansing, you're basically just giving everyone around you like raid levels of buffing with no extra effort. So Interesting. It's interesting. You know, it's great on fights with lots of conditions in PvE, and it was insane in World versus World, where scrappers have been healing there for a very long time. So internal cooldown of 2 seconds. What that will mean is some people are going to swap to the HGH trait or Iron-Blooded. Iron-Blooded makes you much tankier. HGH reduces the cooldown of your elixirs, so you can use elixir skills more often, and your elixir skills give might, which helps with might stacking a little bit. But a lot of the engineer's strongest healing skills are considered elixirs, so people will just possibly swap over if they don't like Purity of Purpose. But it is still good. But it certainly remains to be seen how insane it is after that change. Plus, we have multiple engineers. That could still be wild. Alright. Guardian Firebrand. Ashes of the Just. This skill will now properly attribute its damage to the source of each stack of the effect. Is it still the same for self? It says 2 seconds per target, so no. I think everyone it's 2-second cooldown. Let's see. Chaos Vortex. When cast by a clone, the duration of the applied confusion condition has been reduced from 8 seconds to 3 seconds. Alright, so Mirage, when they gave Mirage's Alacrity and Tin Man 25 Might, and they also changed Torment at the same time, and they changed staff skills, Mirage became insane. Mirage became able to give Alacrity and 25 stacks of Might and Fury to 10 people, and do 55,000 damage per second if they were good. The very next patch, they were like, whoops, and they toned down Mirage damage a bit, and it looks like they are doing that a little bit more. So, again, Chaos Vortex, when cast by a clone, the confusion is 3-second duration instead of 8 in PvE only. So, apparently their DPS was still a little high, and this is going to be another hit to that. Ranger Shortbow, which is a condition weapon. Poison Volley. The poison duration has been increased from 4 to 5 when striking from in front of the target, and from 6 to 7 seconds when striking from behind the target. This change applies in all game modes. Interesting. So, a very small buff to shortbow in all game modes. So for those that don't know much about Ranger, the shortbow, all of its attacks are much more potent if they hit you from the side or the back. If you turn your back on a Ranger with a shortbow and start to run in PvP, you're probably taking about double damage. The 1 does much more damage. The 2, the poison is much harder. The 5 goes from a daze to a stun. The 4 goes from a cripple to an immobilize. So all of the skills are more potent if you turn away, if you're not facing that Ranger. Crippling Shot, that's the 4 that I just mentioned. The duration of bleeding applied by the pet's next 3 attacks increased from 12 to 15 in all game modes. Okay, so shortbow buffs across the board. Druid Glyph of Unity now has 0.25 second internal cooldown per target. That's what we read about a minute ago. Revenant. Legendary Demon Stance. Embrace the darkness. Reduce the duration of applied torment from 5.5 to 5 seconds in PvE only. Okay, so a half a second nerf. Again, a lot of people became insanely powerful after they changed how torment worked, and this is probably them trying to continue to balance that. Devastation, Destructive Impulses. Bonus damage for having an offhand weapon equipped has been reduced from 5% to 2.5% in PvE only. So that skill is getting nerfed by half. I don't know what builds that was used in, but that's a big blow to that one specific skill. To the overall build, I don't know how much that's going to affect. Thief Dagger. Death Blossom. This skill no longer moves the player farther if they're under the effects of swiftness or super speed. Still funny, but good that they fixed it. Daredevil Lotus Training. Condition damage bonus has been increased from 10 to 15% in PvE. This now matches the current bonus on this trait in PvP and World vs. World. Increase from 10 to 15%. Wow, okay. Okay, cool. So buff to Condi Daredevil. Deadeye. Malicious Sneak Attack. This skill now only applies 1 stack of Torment, with a duration equal to twice your Malice in all game modes. Okay. Oh, there's late notes as well. Black Lion Trading Company Gem Store. Episodes 5 and 6 of Living World Season 2 are free for a limited time as part of Living World Return. For anyone seeing this who is not caught up on that, you will get a mail. If you have a level 80 character, you'll get a mail just like this, and you just take the mail and it auto gives you the episodes. I already owned them, but if you didn't, you'd have a big pop-up in the middle of your screen. That's all you gotta do. If you are not level 80, I believe what you need to do, unless they have changed it, is you go to Story Journal and you go to the appropriate episodes. So this is 5 and 6 of Season 2. So you go here, you go to 5, and the buy button will say like buy for 0 gems. So yeah, one of those two things. If you don't get the mail, go into the story and you might have to hit buy for 0 gems, but it's free for everyone. It's just a different interface. Okay, so let's look over what's new here. Let's look over what's new. Here we go. New store just loaded. The new Pharaoh's package. Where is the Pharaoh? Where's the Pharaoh's package? The new Pharaoh's package is available in the style category of the gem store for 2,400 gems. Very nice. Let's see, it comes with this outfit. It comes with the Royal Anubis Jackal. That actually looks pretty sleek. I don't hate that. And we got some die kits as well. This package contains the Pharaoh's Regalia outfit, the Royal Anubis Jackal skin, a total makeover kit, 5 Black Lion statues, and 5 Elonian landscape die kits. And on that subject, the new Royal Anubis Jackal skin is available in the style category of the gem store for 1,600 gems. You can get the Pharaoh's Regalia outfit on its own for 700 gems. You know, I'm kind of bummed. A little while back, they had that icy outfit that you could get the pieces of it. They had the icy gloves, the hat, the chest, the legs. They way overpriced it, but what you could do was you could just get the pieces you wanted to mix and match. Like, I will probably never buy an outfit in this game because I can't use it with my wizard hat. And I love my wizard hat. So I was like, oh, this is the beginning of a new trend, like when they started making dyeable backpacks. But here we are. There's another outfit that you can't separate. So that makes me kind of bummed. But I don't know. Maybe they'll do more in the future. For a limited time, the Ice Reaver cape, the Herald of Oreen cape, and the Abyss Stalker cape are available on sale in the style category of the gem store for 400 gems each, a savings of 20%. For a limited time, the Season 1 Memory Box, Flame and Festivals, and Season 1 Memory Box, Scarlet vs. Lion's Arch, are available on sale in the style category of the gem store for 160 gems each. So, that's these two boxes right here, and if I click on one of them, you know, you can click on that and see what is included inside if you want to buy them. They're pretty cheap because they're kind of like loot boxes. You open it and you get just some random stuff from Living World Season 1, and if you like what you see, you can get some. That's completely up to you. And finally, fixed a bug that prevented the Legacy of the Llama Locator achievement from progressing if players had previously completed other llama locating achievements. This is a step of the Return to Drytop 2, Legacy of the Llama Locator. It is something that will eventually be one of the things in your path to getting the new legendary amulet that is coming out, and people weren't able to complete this if they had done another achievement that involved those same silly llamas. So that's been fixed, hopefully, and now you should be able to get this done for those of you who have been doing these in the order that they've been released, and then you can continue to be as ready as possible for that legendary amulet to be done. And that concludes the patch notes for today. So if you know anything about these that I failed to mention, feel free to put that in the comments down below. I welcome getting corrected. We're just trying to get the right information out there for people. And as always, if you like the content, please think about hitting that like button to help us out with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe for more similar content. That's it for today. Happy Guild Warsing.